Okay, so shall we start our class? Can you guys hear me?
Yes, Sai.
Okay, so we'll start our class.
Okay.
So yesterday we have seen, I mean, we already discussed, right, container to container mapping. So in volumes, we have container to container mapping, volume mapping, and container to host, container to host. Already we have seen this one, as well as port mapping. Port mapping also seen, we have seen. Okay, so we have one more advanced concept is there. Creating our own local registry, Docker Hub, creating local registry. Okay, that also we call deploying a registry server, we call. Deploying a registry server. Okay, so this is also a more advanced concept. So deploying registry server means, so far we have taken images from Docker Hub, right? So far we have taken images from Docker Hub. Now, instead of taking images from Docker Hub, what I'll do, I'll create one container. I'll keep my own images in this container. I'll give access of this container to everyone of my colleagues. Okay, so that they'll push images to here, they'll pull images from here. That means it's my company's own local Docker Hub, kind of. It's a private Docker Hub. Okay, so that we call registry server, where I can store my local images, my own Docker images. Okay, understood it? So that's what we are going to do. See, practically, I mean, real time scenario, what actually we do. 98% we are depending upon Docker Hub only, main Docker Hub, where we'll get so many images. Okay, so we are pulling from there only. There won't be any security issue because Docker, every now and then it scans those images. So even if you use these images, there won't be any security issue. Okay, so that's why we are not using this one in companies. So far we haven't used this one. But why I'm explaining here, this is only for interview purpose. Interview purpose. In interview they will ask everything. Understood, right? That's why. So 98% we are pulling images from main Docker Hub only. Main central Docker Hub, online Docker Hub. Okay, but they might ask you these questions in interview. That's why we are discussing this one. Nothing more than that. Even if you miss this one, that's okay, no problem. Okay. So it's advanced concept. These three are advanced concepts in Docker. Okay, let's see what is this registry server, how to deploy. So already you know registry server. What I'm going to do, I'm on top of my base machine. That's what EC2. I'm going to create one container. That's what registry server, where I'll store all my images. Okay, so that I can pull whenever I want. I can have access to some other one of my colleagues and everyone, so that they can push images to here. They can pull images from here. Okay, it acts as a storage for the images. Okay, so let's wait. So see here thing is that here also what we are going to do, this is my base machine. I am going to create a container by taking an image called registry version 2. Registry version 2. So we need to take this image from Docker Hub. If you take this image, if you create container out of that one, that automatically becomes registry server. Automatically become registry server. This is an image that we have to take from Docker Hub. Especially Docker company, they have created this image to create a registry server. Okay. As well as people how they push images, we need to map a port. Here we need to take one port. Here also we need to take one port. We need to map these two ports. Okay, so we need to map these two ports so that whenever they push, images will be stored here. Whenever they push any image, okay, the image will go, it will store here. Whenever they pull image, any image will come here because you know, right, we don't have IP address to the container, so they'll use my base station IP colon port here so that they can push and they can pull. Here we are going to take image, registry image, and as well as we are going to do port mapping. Understood, guys? Any doubts here? Theoretically, any doubts here? Any doubts from anyone?
Right.
No doubts? Please respond, guys. Any doubts?
No, sir.
Okay, so let's read now. So let's go inside this machine. Guys, sorry about the history, yesterday's history. So actually, yesterday there was some network issue, and I lost that complete history. My machine was, automatically restarted. So that's why I could not share that history. So what you can do, anyways, you got recorded video, right? So in that we can take the steps, that history. Okay, so yesterday I didn't have that history. So let's go inside this function. Okay. Sudo so docker. Oh my god, now I'm getting. Oh, great, yeah. Yesterday we discussed port mapping only, right? This is what we discussed yesterday. Oh, great. So I'll share this history now, guys. Yesterday I was unable to see this one. So let me share this one. So our group is 6 AM, right? This is our group. Okay. Okay, guys, I have shared that history. Please verify new WhatsApp. Okay, the commands which I have executed yesterday. Okay. Fine. So okay. So what we'll do, we'll deploy that registry server. Let me increase the font. Okay, so I'll show that image as well. Okay, here, go to Docker Hub, hub.docker.com is the site. So here, type registry. See here, you can see right the image registry, Docker registry 2.0. Its version is 2.0. Implementation for storing and distributing Docker images. Docker registry 2.0 implementation for storing and distributing Docker images. So we are going to take this image of version 2. Okay, so let's take this image. So Docker, just I'm creating one container by mapping the port. In fact, you can see, you can get the commands as well here. For this Google, I mean, you will get proper commands, I mean, the steps in Google. Deploying registry server in Docker. From official website itself, you will get proper steps here. See here, these are the steps that we are following. We are going to create a container by mapping the port, demonized container that runs at backend. By mapping the port, 5000 port of base machine, 5000 port of that container. We need to restart so that every time whenever pushes any image, that will be updated immediately. -f name, give any container name, and by taking that container image, that image, registry image. That's what we are going to do. So let's run that command, docker run. So -d, demonized container, -p. We are going to map the port. So 5000 port of my base machine, 5000 port of my container. So -f restart equal to always. Okay, always, so that whenever we update, we push an image, we pull image, Docker container registry server will be updated immediately. It will be refreshed. So remaining things are pretty same. Give a container name. So give any name. For example, I'll give my own hub. My own hub. That means that's our Docker hub. My own hub. Okay, my own Docker hub. Any name that you container can give any name. Next, image registry :2 registry :2. That's it. Understood, guys? You understood this command? Docker run is to create container, -d, demonized container that runs at backend, and -p, port mapping, restart always, it will be refreshed immediately, and this is a container name, sorry, it's a container name, and this image. / bin bash is not equal because you are not going inside the container. Okay, and error response from daemon.
Always spelling is wrong.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
Sai, why it's :2?
Why it's colon? Where? Actually, that's I mean version. In that image, earlier we used to use registry. Now they have released version 2. That's why we are giving 2. That's why we can take versions as an image. In image, we can give versions as well, like this. Put a colon and give the version number. See here.
We can use any version or?
Yeah, any version. This is the latest version. That's why we are using this. See, this is registry 2.0 implementation.
Okay.
And here also they are saying to take version 2. So that's the latest one. Okay, like that. Now, yeah, press enter. Okay, registry 2. We are pulling this image from Docker Hub. That's it. We have pulled and container got created. How to see the container? Docker ps. See here, my registry container is running, and the port we have mapped 5000 to 5000. Okay. So that's it. The container name is my own hub. My own hub. Now what we do, guys, here. Suppose, see, so far my images are Docker images are where? In my base machine. For example, let's take an image. I have an image called Ubuntu in my base machine. Images are present in your base machine, guys. EC2. That's why if you type Docker images, you can see all images in your EC2 machine. Now, what we are going to do? The container got created. Now, before I want to push this image into Docker Hub. I want to save my Ubuntu image in Docker Hub. For that, 2 steps, guys. 2 steps. First step, see here, you are inviting any VIP to your marriage or any function. What do you do? In the first row, you keep one chair and you paste his name, and that is for reserve. Okay, that's a reserved chair, right? Okay, you keep one chair, you paste his name, so that's the first step. Second, then you will invite so that he will come and sit in that same chair, in that chair only. So he will come and sit in that chair only. Understood, right? So here also same thing. We have to reserve some space here. For this Ubuntu, we have to reserve some space for this Ubuntu image here. Okay. So for this name, I can give any name. For example, I'll give Sai Ubuntu. For that reserved location, for that reserved space, I'm giving a name called Sai Ubuntu. Okay, so that means now next time, second step is I'm going to push. If you push, by default, this Ubuntu will go and sit inside that only. Like that. Okay, we are reserving some space for this Ubuntu, and later on we are going to push that Ubuntu image inside this one. 2 things. So that he will go and sit inside that particular location only. Same here as well. In an example, we keep one chair and we paste his name, so that whenever he comes, he will go and sit inside that chair only. That means we are reserving some space, and later on we are pushing. Okay, these are the only 2 steps, guys. Okay, so that time if you push that Ubuntu, by default it will go and sit in that location only, guys. If you push other image, it won't go and sit in that one, because it's a reserved for that Ubuntu only. Okay, so what we do, just let's reserve some space. Docker tag Ubuntu. See here, whenever you refer this container, how you refer this, we have mapped port as 5000 and 5000. Whenever you refer this container, you base machine's IP colon 5000, right? That's how you refer. So what is your base machine IP? You take base machine normal IP, that's okay, fine. So if you are pushing from your own base machine, you can, instead of IP, this IP address, you can use localhost. Whenever you give localhost, that means your base machine IP. Internally, you are referring to your local machine IP. So localhost 5000. And give that name. I'll show that. See here. This one. Localhost colon 5000 / Sai Ubuntu. Okay, Docker tag. See it. Now I'll explain what actually I'm doing. For this image in my base machine, I am reserving this location in my container. That's why I'm giving a tag. Just I'm adding a tag of this one. For this image, I am reserving this space in my container. So how to refer that container? Localhost colon 5000. This is how you refer container, right? Localhost 5000. That will we have mapped the port of 5000 to 5000 port of container. So that means indirectly we are referring container. So inside container, we are reserving a location memory called Sai Ubuntu. Okay, this is how we reserve some location. Now see here, if you press enter, that we have reserved some space. Now space got already created. Now we are going to push that image. Push image. Okay, so command is docker push. That means we are pushing from my base machine to Docker hub. Docker history. Same. How you refer? Give this one. Now it will go and sit inside. Automatically Ubuntu will go and sit inside this location. Automatically Ubuntu from your base machine will go and sit inside this one. Okay, understood? Because already we have tagged that one. Okay, enter. See here, pushing this one. That's it. We have pushed that one. Image, we have pushed image to Docker registry. Now, that's it. Now what you do? Docker images. See here, Docker images. So whenever you push an image, it will show one. It will it will show one image here. This is not actually image. I mean, see here, this image is already there in your base machine. This is what you have pushed. Push means copy and paste, guys. Push means copy and paste. That's why you can see that image from your base machine. Okay. And why it is showing like this? When you push that image to Docker Hub, it will show one reference. It's kind of temporary, locally cached reference for you. So that by seeing this one, you will understand. Yes, I have pushed an image. Okay. That means I have an image inside container on his name. Because if you cannot go inside container, guys, because the Docker container, whatever you have created, right, registry server, you cannot go inside the container. Even if you go, you cannot see that images. You cannot see that images in that format. Okay, for example, you have pen drive. Okay, I have one movie inside pen drive. If I open pen drive physically, can you see that movie? No, right? We have proper format to see that movie. You have to attach to laptop, then only you can see. So same thing here. Same thing here. See here, just try to understand this one. One temporary image kind of caching kind of thing will be created in your base machine. Okay. So if you want, you can remove this one. What I will do to avoid confusion, I'll remove this one. Docker RMI to remove the image, right? So I'm removing this image from my base machine. Okay, we have removed. Okay, and let me remove this one as well. This you want to. Okay. Asha, there might be some container running in this image. See here, I have removed this image. I mean, this is a temporary tag. It's a kind of tag just for your reference. By seeing this one, you can come to know that yes, we have pushed this image to Docker container for your own reference, because you cannot go inside container, you cannot see what the images are there. So that's why it is for your own reference. By seeing this one, you will come to know. Yes, I have an image called Sai Ubuntu in my container, like that. So I have removed this one. Okay. Now I don't want this image as well as also, because already I have pushed that Ubuntu image inside container. Okay. So that's why I'm removing this one, Docker RMI Ubuntu. But whatever it is doing, since I already have created some containers earlier by using this Ubuntu image. Okay. That means there is a dependency. If you want to delete that image, first you need to delete those dependency containers. Or simply you can use force. You apply force -F. Enter. That's a deleted. Just for RMI-F. Now here do Docker images. Now we do not have Ubuntu image as of now in my base machine. That image already I have stored inside my Docker registry. Now I want to pull that image. Now I want to pull. Guys, till now you understood, guys? Till now, any doubts?
Yes, Sai, I have a question.
Yeah.
If you want to delete image in,
If you want to delete,
if you want to delete image individually, not like with the force -F,
yeah.
so we have to use this command again and again for each and every image.
I mean, you are asking, see, if you have any container from one image, if you want to delete that image, first you need to delete container, because dependency is there from that image you have created container. Correct? That is one thing. So if you don't want to delete that container, if you want to delete that particular image, then what you do, you have to use -F. So that forcefully you are deleting that image. Okay.
Okay.
And third one, how to delete multiple images. That's what you are asking.
Yes.
That command I'm going to show you soon. Okay. Just I'm going to show you in a couple of minutes.
Okay. Okay.
So till here, any doubts, guys? Anyone? I'll repeat this one. What I have done here. So this is my Docker container. This is my base EC2 machine. Okay. I have created this registry server. Okay. Now what I have done, I have pushed one image I mean, first I have reserved some space on name of Sai Ubuntu. Now I have pushed this main Ubuntu inside this one. When you push this one, automatically now the name of that image is Sai Ubuntu. So your pushing means Ubuntu, it's a copy and paste. That means you can see this image in your base machine as well as that Sai Ubuntu also it will show. By seeing this one, you'll come, yes, on this name we have an image is in container. Why? Because you cannot go inside container. Okay, like that. What I have done, I have deleted these two because already I have Sai Ubuntu image is there in my container that I know. So I have deleted these two now. Now I am going to pull this image from container to host. Okay, so command is docker pull. So how can you refer that container? First, localhost 5000 / what is the name of that image? Sai Ubuntu. Enter. So here we are pulled. Okay, see here pulling from Sai Ubuntu. Now do docker images. You can see, right? The image got, we have pulled this image. Okay, it will show like this. That means we have pulled from docker container. That's why it will show like this. Okay, so that's how we can pull that image. For example, this is for me, guys. This is from me. For example, suppose you want to push an image. So what do you do? First, you need to reserve some location, reserve some space in this container. So what you do? Instead of localhost, you have to give my base machine's IP address. My base machine's IP address you have to give. My base machine's private IP you need to give is. Okay. So for example, 10.20. Just I'm giving you an example. 30.40. This is my base machine IP. This is a command that you need to run. Okay. So for example, you are reserving test Ubuntu and something you want to push. You have to run this command, guys. Okay, then automatically it will come to my container and the image will be stored. Then after that, you are going to push that image, right? What do? You have to run this command, docker push. Sorry. First, then the IP address you need to give like this. I am pushing from local machine. You are pushing from outside. Then you need to run this command. Then after that you can delete. I mean, just the IP address is not there. Right? Actually, that's it is showing. After that, you can delete that one. If you want to delete, the command is docker RMA that the image is. So if you want to pull, again same thing. In place of localhost, you change the IP address. Three steps, guys, simple. Okay, reserve some space, push that image, and whenever you want, you pull that image. That's simple. Any doubts, guys? Here, 3 steps, simple steps. If you have any doubts, you can ask now. Any doubts from anyone?
No.
Okay. Anyways, don't worry, guys. We won't use this one in companies. Okay, so it's only for interview purpose only. Okay, so that's how. Now how to delete this container? Okay, command is first you need to stop this container. Why? Because the container is running. Docker ps, because here the container is running. Now how to stop this container? Docker stop. You know that one command. Docker stop the container. My own. Yes, we have stopped this container. Now how to delete this container? Docker rm-v. This is a registry container. rm-v. rm also fine. Yes, you have deleted this container. Like this, you can delete the container. So this is what Docker, guys. Here, few commands you should know. For example, Docker images. How many images I have? I have so many images, 3 images. Okay, so how many containers I have? Docker ps-a. So I have some 3 to 4 containers. How many running containers? So I might have some running containers. Now, with one go, in one step, I want to delete all, I want to stop all containers. First you stop, then delete, right? With one single command, you want to stop all running containers. Command is docker stop dollar in brackets docker ps hyphen a, because all, right? Oh, sorry. Docker ps hyphen a hyphen q. Okay, docker stop in dollar docker ps hyphen a hyphen q. Okay, if you run this command, all containers will be stopped, all running containers. Enter. Yes, all 3 containers. I mean, if at all any running container is there, that will be stopped. Okay. Now, if you want to delete all stopped containers, stop here you use rm. You use rm. Okay. See here, it will delete all stopped containers. That's it. We have deleted all stopped containers. Now we can verify. ps-a, no containers. If you want to delete all images, guys, command is docker rmi. Docker rmi here. Okay, u hyphen f. We are applying force. Okay. Now here docker images. This is a command. Docker rmi hyphen f in dollar docker images space hyphen q. Few differences, guys. Here ps, here stop, here rm, here rmi. So here ps hyphen a, here images. That's it. Enter. Here it will delete all images in your base machine. Now verify docker images. See here, no images. Containers, no containers. No running containers. Nothing. With one single step, you can delete all these things. Understood, guys, this one? Understood? Any doubts here? Any doubts from anyone?
No, sir.
No doubts? Okay. So that is all about Docker, guys. In Docker, few.
Sorry. When you go to that inside the Docker container,
Yeah.
VA editor and all the things are not working. When we verify that, I think it is not taken from the base container.
VA editor is not working. No, see here.
Okay.
That is container, right? You need
Yes.
to install that VA package and all.
Yeah. How can you install the VA package? I tried.
Yum install VA. Yum install.
Yeah, I tried. Exactly the same.
No. If it is Ubuntu, apt-get, you need to do. Because that's a Ubuntu image, right? We have taken.
Okay.
Okay. If it is CentOS image, then we can give yum command. If it is Ubuntu, apt-get.
Okay. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah. So that's all about Docker, guys. In Docker, few more. I mean, just it's 20 minutes class is there. 20 more minutes. So in Docker file, we have given so many instructions, right? So in that we have few more instructions we need to learn. That I'm going to explain later, not now, because see, it's 3 instructions are there. Run instruction already run command in Docker file. So apart from that, we need to learn CMD entry point. These 2 also you need to learn, because nowadays they are asking these 2 things in interview. But just to filter out, guys, we never use this one, and its usage is nothing. I mean, it's not. It's a useless actually. Okay, but just to filter out, they are asking these things. Right? Some recruiters, they don't know actually that Docker and all, they don't know. But they need to recruit some people, guys, employees. So what they do, they'll open laptop and they'll type top 10 interview questions in Docker. So like that. So those guys, they'll ask these kind of questions. Okay. So we need to learn these two. I mean, you should know what is what. So if I explain now, it creates confusion. Okay. It will affect our previous Docker, knowledge. It will affect your knowledge. That's why let's keep this thing aside. In Git as well, I have left, missed some concept guys. In Git, rebase, fetch, bisect. I have a list, guys. I have a list. Okay. So in Git, I have skipped some topics, and in Docker, I'm skipping these two instructions. Okay. So if you go through my course content, which I have shared you at the my demo class, so we have missed these topics in Git, and in Docker, these two. Apart from that, we discuss each and everything. Okay. So these things we are going to discuss later on, because if I explain now, it will affect your existing Docker knowledge. Okay. That's why I'm not going to leave this one, but I'm going to explain later on at the end of this course. By the time you'll be familiar with, Git, because Git I'm going to use again in Jenkins. Okay. By the time at the end of course, you'll be familiar with Git and Docker. You will have clear knowledge. Then I can explain this one. Then it won't, it won't affect your existing Docker or Git knowledge. Understood, guys? Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Fine.
Yes.
So that is all about Docker, guys. So we have discussed each and everything in Docker, like advanced concepts. Yeah.
So I have a question. Yesterday I asked you about that actually, and it's still stuck in my mind. My question was yesterday, if we move any AWS service to Docker, actually, if we take this scenario, we have a database on running on our AWS scenario, and now we don't want there, and we want to move on Docker. How we can do that?
Your see, is your base machine EC2?
Yes.
This is your container.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what you are saying now? How we want to?
I'm asking if we have a database on Amazon RDS, and we don't want that run over there now, and we want to move that to Docker.
See here. In Amazon, we can create databases in two ways in AWS. The first one, you launch one EC2 machine, you install database package, and you put that data in Docker. That is one way. Second, you take Amazon's RDS directly. Amazon's provided RDS directly. Okay. So if you have this kind of setup, since it's a data, right, you can migrate this data to container. Okay. If you have this data, it's a fully managed by AWS, right? So
Yes.
data also we can migrate. That's not an issue. We need to verify. For that, they have provided some specific services like database migration services, DMS. Okay. By using that one, we can migrate. I mean, these are also, since it's a normal data, we can migrate normally without any issue. So how you migrate? Same port mapping. You need to map the port. Okay, we can migrate. So for this we have to use a service called DMS, Database Migration Service. They are providing. That I'll show you here. So here, go to services. Here, under migration section. See here, migration transfer. Here you can find database migration service. By using this one, you can migrate. You got it?
Okay. Yes.
By using this service, you can migrate the data.
Okay. Yeah, that's clear now. Thank you.
Okay. Any more doubts, guys, from anyone? No doubts? Okay, fine. So what we'll do? Okay.
Hi.
Yes.
This networking part, okay. Once we install the Docker service,
Yeah.
How this network will work? How container will communicate to each other? Like, is there any network?
No. See, guys, one container will not communicate to another container. These are individual containers. So to address this issue, we have Kubernetes. There we are going to cluster some containers. Understanding, right? No, we cannot. These containers are completely individual containers.
Okay.
Okay, so that's the problem in Docker, right? These problems we are addressing in Kubernetes.
Sai, will you discuss this Kubernetes also?
Yeah, we are going to discuss that Kubernetes, but we are not going deeper inside that one. Why? Because no one have that knowledge. Even in fact, we started working, and as I told you, right, we don't have sufficient documentation in Kubernetes. So whatever we know, whatever we learned, that's what I'm going to explain.
Okay.
Because it's a new one. It's new for everyone. You can search in Google. Even if you type in Google, you won't get proper video or proper documentation. Okay, just we are gathering information here and there. Okay, so on R&D basis, whoever is testing like that. So that's what. So everyone is exploring. Not only me, not only everyone is exploring that one. So till now, whatever we did is we have worked. That's what I'm going to explain. Okay, so that's why I'll show it just one second.
Sai, Santosh here.
Yeah, yes, Santosh.
Yeah. AWS part little bit you have covered. Chef you have covered. Docker you have covered, right?
Right.
So when we can get this interview questions for these topics?
See. I'll tell you at the end of class. I'll explain this one. The interview questions part. How they ask this interview questions here. Wait. I'll just first let me talk about this.
I will clarify why I'm asking, because once you cover the topic, if you give the interview, then we can focus on that part and improve our concepts on that questions related also. So that will be easier and helpful for us. Because at the end of the class, if you focus on all other things, like it will be difficult for us to focus on each particular. Because once you complete your topic, it's very easier to go and focus on that topic only.
Yeah, understood. See here. Okay. Okay. So I'll come to your question now. Okay. So this is what we are going to see, guys. So that's why we are not going deeper. It's an overview. So remaining topics we'll go deeper. The practical and everything we'll see. In Kubernetes, whatever we know, that's what I'm going to explain. So coming to your question, interview question. See here. Interview questions. Thing is that. If you type in Google, so top 10 interview questions, you'll get so many questions. That's right. I'm giving one example here. No, I'm not saying that refer these questions. I'll tell you why I'm showing this one. Top interview questions in DevOps. So if you see, you'll get so many websites. If you click on any website, they will show the question list of questions. Okay, so like what are the requirements? So just whatever they're showing that questions or interview questions. For example, you take tool by tool. If you take tool by tool, you'll get the questions like this. But you have to understand one thing, guys. Nowadays, in interviews, they are not asking questions like that. Interviews, they are not asking questions like that. What is Docker? What is that image? Okay, how to pull that image? Okay, so what actually they are doing? They are giving one scenario. I mean, first they'll ask in which project you worked and what you have done in this project. Then you'll say something like, I have worked on Docker. Okay, and I have worked on this one like this. On top of that, they will ask you, okay, if you did this one, how you have achieved that one. On top of that, if you say something else, right, in that we have taken this one image, and then they will ask one more question. So if it is okay, then how will you do it? You are understanding, right?
Yeah, the roles and responsibilities and the work which we have done for that project.
Yeah, see, understood, right? So wait. They won't ask directly, what is this, what is that? No. Okay. So they'll give a scenario based on that they will ask, whatever you have done. So these kind of questions you won't get in Google. Understanding, right? So that's why whatever in slides, initially in slides I have given important points, right? Wherever the points are there. Okay. So that is theory, and whatever the practical which I have shown you, anywhere they can ask any type of question. We do not have a list of interview questions like, they'll ask this question, this question, this question. No. Okay, even if you get that kind of list, I would recommend to not to go through that one because it won't help you. Interviews, they'll give one scenario and they'll ask the questions. So if you are perfect in the content course, whatever I have explained now so far, if you are perfect in this one, you can give answer to any of these questions. Understood, right? If we have this kind of questions list, what is this one, what is that one, then I can provide that list. But nowadays they are not asking this kind of list, this kind of questions. They are asking based upon one scenario. You are understanding it? That's why we cannot provide proper interview questions. Okay, so that's why I have provided the steps that in my slides initially, wherever the points are there. For example, Docker. I'll show that one. See here, the important points which I have added in slides here itself. So these are the points. These could be important exam question. We cannot say that what kind of question you will ask, as well as mostly they will focus on practical. Say how to deploy Docker registry server, what kind of image you will take, and how you map the port, how you map that container to container, what are the steps that you follow. You understand, right? These kind of questions you will not get in Google, and we do not have proper questions here. If we start preparing the question, there is no limit for the question. We cannot say, right, what kind of question they will ask. Understood? So if you are perfect in this one, whatever I have explained, then you can crack, you can give answer to any kind of questions. I hope you are understanding what I'm trying to say here.
Yeah, but what we require is a top, as you said, this topics we should focus on whatever is there in the slide more.
Not only slides here.
Or it is like we can do our own R&D and add more questions on a day-to-day basis.
No. See here, wait, I will explain this. For example, see guys, this is what we have covered in Docker. Okay, this is the content we have covered. Docker history, Docker usage, OS level virtualization, layered file system, Docker overview, benefits, images, containers, Docker file, Docker hub registry. Okay, so this is Docker volume. This is what we have covered in Docker. In this, they can ask questions from anywhere. Understood, right? Since you are having knowledge in all these topics, you can give answer to any of these topics. Okay, so we cannot have proper standard format, like we cannot have proper questions. What is Docker registry? What is Docker file? Like this, we cannot say whether they will ask these kind of questions or not. They might go deeper. If you say they will ask you, say what is Docker volumes? Then you have to say these are Docker volume. We have to map the volume in these two ways: container to container, host to container. Then they'll ask you how you map the container from host to container. Then now they'll ask you how you map the container, volume from container to container. What are the steps that you follow? So these kind of questions, we cannot list all these questions, right? But if you have knowledge, whatever we have discussed here, if you have knowledge in this one, you can give answer to each and every question. You understanding what I'm saying?
Yes, I.
Yeah, that's how we cannot provide proper questions here. Unlike they are providing in Google, like top 10 questions. I don't think so. You'll get questions from them. Okay, if the recruiter he doesn't know anything about Docker or anything, he will open this Google and he will type this top 10 interview questions and he will ask this question one by one. So like that, I mean, that you understood, right, why we cannot provide proper questions. Not only this technology, nowhere you can provide it. See, for example, Java. So can we provide interview questions in Java? No, right? They'll give a pen and paper. They'll ask you to write the code. They'll give a scenario. They'll ask you to write the code. So how can we get that kind of question in from Google or anywhere? We can prepare. Understanding? You got my point or not?
Yes, I got it.
You got that one, right? So be perfect in the course content, whatever we have covered. My promise is the question you won't get any question out of this course because we are going deeper in each and every topic. Okay, so this is my promise. You will not get question out of this content. But what kind of question they will ask, we cannot say. But the question will be inside our course content only. Okay, so that's why we cannot give proper questions. If we start giving the questions, there is no limit. Question could be anything, right? Okay, that's how We cannot provide any questions. Instead, we are providing a theory and as well as the practical, so that if you go through this one, automatically you can give answer to any kind of question. Okay. Hope
Right.
you understand. Yeah.
Sai, do they ask the syntax of command as well?
Yeah. Definitely there are also commands.
Okay.
It's mandatory. Definitely there are also commands.
Okay. Syntax wise also they will ask the commands,
Yeah.
right?
In some companies, they give you a laptop. They will ask you to execute that command in some companies.
Okay.
Okay, so that's all about, right? You see, DevOps is all about that, knowing the theory and knowing the script wherever you have used the script and knowing the commands. So definitely they will ask you these commands. They will give, sometimes they will give pen and paper to ask you to write, as well as sometimes they will give a laptop to execute. They will ask you to execute these commands. Especially Docker file. In each and every interview of mine, I have written Docker file. Yes. They have given pen and paper. They have asked me to write Docker file, and they have explained. They have asked me why you have written this one, why you have written this one, like that. Understood, right? So these things happens in interviews. Got my point?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I got it now. I mean, like we are understanding the interview pattern. That is more important.
Yeah. So I'll share this one. So that's it, guys. We are almost done with Docker. I told you, right? Few topics are there. That's what I have mentioned here. A few. Whatever I have mentioned, those are missing. Those I'm going to cover at the end of course. So I'll share this history.
One more question, Sai.
Yes, please.
When are you planning to start Jenkins?
After completion of Docker, I will start Ansible. Tomorrow onwards, I'll start Ansible. And after that, I'll start Jenkins.
Okay.
I have one question.
Yes, please.
I am new to this Docker and Chef and all those stuffs.
Okay.
In the interview, they've given the scenario which are based on past experience in that field.
Yeah.
So, will that be able to help me, or I need to study some more on these topics?
See, you need not worry about that. See, at the end of course, I'll take the point by point. Whatever course content which I have shown you, right? I'll take point by point and I will explain what kind of question they might ask and what is the real-time scenario, what we are doing. Okay, and everything I'll explain clearly. You need not worry about that one. For that, first you should have knowledge in each and every tool.
Okay.
So at the end of course I'll explain, because by that time you'll be familiar with each and every tool. You might have finished with that practical session. Then if I explain, then you will get better clarity. Okay, you need not worry about these things.
And those sessions will be recorded, right?
Which section?
The practicals and project and the question answer scenarios. Those sessions are going to be recorded, right?
Yes. Whatever I explain here, everything is a recorded session. I think you are getting recorded video as well every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, same thing. The project and each and everything is included in this class only. You'll get recorded section for each and every of my class.
Okay. Thanks, sir.
Yeah.
Sai, one more thing.
Yes, please.
It's related to Docker actually. When I observed in my company, okay, they put some code in the GitHub, okay, related to Docker.
Okay.
They clone the files from the GitHub.
Okay.
There are some 4 files. So related to Docker Compose, when they execute one file, they are using some makeup command. So if you execute that command, it will download all images and it will run containers in one command actually. So how that will work actually?
So that's what Docker Compose is, right? Docker Swarm and Docker Compose. See, that's what creating multiple images and running multiple containers. That's what clustering actually. So some companies they are using Docker Swarm, and companies are using mostly Kubernetes. Okay, either we can use Swarm or Kubernetes. But in Kubernetes, you have so many advantages. That's why instead of that one, mostly people are using Kubernetes.
So whatever I told, that is related to Kubernetes?
Yes, Kubernetes.
There is some file like .yml file. That is
Yeah,
main.
that's what. In Kubernetes only, in Kubernetes, we are going to write a file called YML file. The manifest we call .yml.
Okay.
Okay. So whatever instructions we give, that will give in .yml format. Okay. So we'll give instructions to Kubernetes. Yeah. Here we are going to use this YAML script in Kubernetes.
So I need to understand this process actually, where I can get the information.
Okay. Okay.
I am new to the tool actually, so the project is going on. So whenever they execute that file, it will run all multiple containers that is related to one-to-one. Okay, it's all related to gaming application. Okay,
Okay.
each container is running in one application and service. Okay,
Okay. Yeah. I
so
understand.
they are using like this all YML file and all.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. That we are going to see in Kubernetes. But I don't think so. They will go deeper because it's a new technology. So far, whatever I have seen in my companies, so everyone is learning. In fact, one of my friend, he got a job. What they said, his name is Revant. What they said, see Revant, you take sufficient, you learn Kubernetes. That's what they said. Okay, he even didn't get any project. They said you take sufficient time, you learn Kubernetes. Because we are going to get a project. That's what they have given. They are getting sufficient, total 6 months they have given. You just learn Kubernetes. Because that's a new, that's new for everyone. In fact, in my company, my manager is also learning Kubernetes. Everyone is learning. Okay, it's new means it is new for everyone, right?
Sai, hold on. Your voice is breaking.
Yeah. Now is it fine now?
No, Sai.
No. Oh my God, what happened? Yesterday also same issue.
Now it is clear. Can you
Now-
go ahead?
Yeah. So I was talking about the Kubernetes. It is new means it is new for everyone. I told you that in my company, my manager also learning Kubernetes. Everyone is learning because it's new technology means it is new for everyone. So new for fresher as well as some manager as well. Correct? That's why I don't think so. They'll put any pressure on these new technologies. They'll give sufficient time to learn. Understood? Right? Okay. Then still there is a lot to explore because these tools are these are, I mean, every day they are releasing new features, new things, right? We need to learn continuously. Okay, we cannot say that whatever we discuss, this is what. No, we cannot say like that. In fact, in AWS as well, that's why the certifications and all valid for 2 years only, right? Okay, so every now and then they release new features. When they release new features, everyone starts learning. Okay, that's nowadays the technologies.
And one more thing we have already discussed about Docker file. Okay, is there any chance to run multiple images on one Docker file? Like
With what? With one Docker file. With one Docker file, you can create only one image because whatever instruction that you give in Docker, what instruction that you give in Docker file, from that you can create only. I mean, any number of images you can create, but all images will have same content, right? Understanding, right? You are creating something from something. So all things will have same thing, right? If you give different instruction, then if you run again, that image will be of different format. You are getting my point, right?
yes.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah. Any more doubts from anyone? So in next class, we are going to start a new tool, guys, called Ansible. Okay. So
Hey, Sai.
yeah.
I just wanted to know what is Helm?
What is Helm?
charts?
Oh, that's a new tool. I think I also heard that one. So, is it in Docker only? I mean, I heard that one. People, somewhere I heard that one, but I don't know much about it. Helm, HELM, right?
HELM
Yes.
chart. Yeah.
Okay.
By any chance you know anything, because they are using in my company and I don't know.
Your company. Okay. Sorry. Helm. Okay, so I too don't know much about this one because thing is that you said
No
there
worries.
is no limit to Docker. This DevOps tools. In each and
Yeah.
every project, you will get one or another tool which is new for everyone.
Okay.
Everyone. So they'll give time and they'll ask you to run. They will ask you to learn. Okay.
Sure.
So
No worries.
that's not an issue. I mean, they'll give time and you can explore that one.
Yeah.
So I
Sure.
heard that name, but I too don't know. To be honest, I don't know about that one.
Yeah, they are using very aggressively with this, with the Kubernetes. That's why.
Acha, okay.
Yeah. Okay, sure. No worries. Thank you.
Any documentation I'll share with you.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So that's it, guys. Let's meet tomorrow with a new tool. Okay. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Bye bye. Good day.
Bye.